The last lessons have presented how to create and use a function in Bash. The functions contain a kind of logic that someone put into it. Quite often, a function developed by one programmer will be later used to develop another function by another developer. That's very good. It's why we like the functions so much. So, we can imagine now that a script could start with a definition of plenty of functions that we paste into the script, so that the currently developed script could reuse their code. But copying and pasting over and over the same functions into all your script is not the best solution. If you have developed 100 scripts using one of your functions, and now you discover a bug in the function, you will need to modify 100 scripts. That's why it would be better to have a library of such functions. I will create now a file named funlibsh. My goal is to gather in this file multiple functions that I create over time, just my toolbox of handy functions that I plan to reuse. Each such file and even each such function should have a kind of documentation, at least informing who is the author, what functions are in the library, what is the version, when the library was last modified, and so on. That may be a little bit boring, but with time you will see how important it is, especially if you work in a team. I'm pretty sure that with time you will have a set of functions specialized in some tasks, like set of functions used during the installation of the software, set of functions allowing to manipulate with users, set of functions used for system troubleshooting, and so on. I'm also pretty sure that with time you will have multiple versions of the library. The version number or the last modification date may help you determine which of the libraries is the last one. Okay, at least if you remembered to update the version number after modifying the file. Okay, so what functions have we created till now? There was one very important function allowing to find out if today is a weekend or not. We got also function listing recursively files and directories. We created also a function returning home directory of the user with known name, and so we could continue and add more and more functions. Moreover, each of the functions should be documented as well. To spare time, I will not do it here and now, but it's a good idea to write a couple of sentences describing what the function does, how to run it, add some examples, add info about author, version, and so on. But let's jump to the usage of the library. How to use it? To demonstrate it, I will create a new one script. On one of the earlier lessons, I have shown that when you want to execute a script in the current shell, we could prefix the script name with the command source, or just a dot. Here, I will use the short notation with dot. This simple instruction will cause that all the function definitions from the funlib file will be loaded into the current shell's memory. So if they are now in memory, I can start using them. The test will be simple. I will just display some messages describing what will happen, and just after displaying the message, I will call the corresponding function. Some of the functions require from me to pass arguments, the other not. It depends. Well, it's time for a test run. I am changing permissions, but not only to the main script. I don't need to change permissions to the library. As the output from the command can be long, I will pass the results to more. And here are the results. First, we created function checking home directory for user Lucy. It seems that it started and returned the correct directory. Next, we called function testing if it's a weekend or not. And it is. Nice. And finally, we tested the function listing the directory, and again it seems that it's working and producing a long output. So that's the idea of having a library of functions and using them in a bash script. But the library can also be started in the current shell. Use the same trick. ./funlib.sh. Starting from now, all the functions defined in the library are available in the current shell as well. If we want to check home directory for the user Wavel root, no problem. Use your own function. Please note, using libraries is helpful not only in pure development of bash scripts. It can be also used by the system administrator in the daily work. If you are missing a command that would do something for you, no problem. Create a function, load it into memory, and enjoy.